Have you ever wondered where the fear and misunderstanding surrounding Islam and Muslims comes from? It's a complex issue with deep roots, and today we're going to unpack it together. Let's explore the origins of Islamophobia, how it shows up in our world, and most importantly, what we can do about it. The term Islamophobia might seem new, but the sentiments behind it have a long history. While tensions have existed for centuries, many scholars point to more recent historical events as major turning points. The 1979 Iranian Revolution, for instance, created a media narrative that often linked Islam with political extremism. This was amplified by the end of the Cold War. With the Soviet Union gone, some political and media narratives began framing the Islamic world as the new global threat. But the event that truly ignited modern Islamophobia was September 11, 2001. The horrific attacks were carried out by a small group of extremists. Yet their actions were used to paint over 1 billion Muslims with the same brush. The subsequent war on terror dominated global headlines and created a powerful, pervasive fear. This fear was fueled by a constant stream of media coverage that often focused on conflict and violence, while ignoring the peaceful, everyday lives of the vast majority of Muslims. This created a fertile ground for stereotypes to grow and for prejudice to become normalized. So, what does Islamophobia actually look like? It's not just one thing, it takes many forms. At the individual level, it can be a suspicious glance on the bus, a hurtful comment about a woman's hijab, or bullying in the schoolyard. It's the assumption that a person's faith automatically defines their political views or their character. On a larger scale, it manifests as institutional or systemic bias. This can include discriminatory policies like travel bans targeting Muslim-majority countries, heightened surveillance of Muslim communities, or biased reporting in the media. We see it in political rhetoric where politicians use fear of Muslims to gain votes, creating an us versus them narrative. It also appears in the entertainment industry, where Muslim characters are often one-dimensional villains, reinforcing harmful stereotypes. This constant exposure creates a distorted reality, where an entire diverse population is reduced to a single, threatening caricature. This issue is a global one, but some countries have been more affected than others. In Western nations with significant Muslim minority populations, like the United States, France, the United Kingdom, and Germany, Islamophobia has become a major social and political challenge. In the US, for example, there have been documented spikes in hate crimes against Muslims following major political events or terrorist attacks. In France, the principle of laïcité, or strict secularism, has led to controversial laws banning religious symbols like the hijab in public schools and for public servants. While intended to promote neutrality, many see these laws as specifically targeting and marginalizing Muslim women, restricting their freedom of expression and participation in society. Similarly, in India, rising religious nationalism has led to increased hostility and violence against the country's large Muslim minority. The forms it takes vary, but the underlying prejudice is the same. So, how do we deal with something so widespread? The good news is, countless people are pushing back, and the fight against Islamophobia is happening on many fronts. At the forefront are incredible grassroots organizations and community leaders. Groups like the Council on American Islamic Relations (CAIR) in the US combat stereotypes through media engagement, legal action, and education. They challenge discrimination in court and work with journalists to ensure more accurate and fair reporting. Interfaith initiatives are also incredibly powerful. Around the world, you'll find mosques, synagogues, and churches opening their doors to one another. They host dinners, dialogues, and community service projects. These simple acts of connection are revolutionary. When people share a meal and a conversation, stereotypes begin to crumble. They stop seeing a label and start seeing a person, a neighbor, a friend. These initiatives are led by rabbis, imams, priests, and everyday people who believe that our shared humanity is stronger than our differences, education is perhaps our most powerful tool. Dedicated teachers and academics are working to reform school curricula to include more accurate and nuanced histories of Islam and Muslim cultures. They are creating resources that go beyond headlines to teach students about the rich contributions of Islamic civilizations to science, art, and philosophy. Universities host public lectures, and museums put on exhibitions that celebrate the diversity of the Muslim world. Knowledge is the antidote to fear. The more we learn, the harder it is to hate. And we can't forget the power of art and media. A new generation of Muslim writers, filmmakers, comedians, and artists are telling their own stories. From TV shows like Raimi and Ms. Marvel that offer funny and heartfelt portrayals of Muslim icon life, to novelists and poets who share their experiences. These creators are challenging one-dimensional narratives. They're showing the world the joy, complexity, and shared normalcy of Muslim lives. But is all this work making a difference? Is Islamophobia slowing down? That's a complicated question. On one hand, public awareness is definitely growing. The term Islamophobia is now widely understood, and more conversations are happening in the open. Many non-Muslims have become strong allies, standing up against bigotry when they see it. This solidarity is a huge sign of progress. However, the political climate in many countries remains tense. Divisive rhetoric is still a potent tool for some leaders, and online misinformation spreads prejudice faster than ever. So, while progress has been made in building bridges and raising awareness, the systemic and political forces driving Islamophobia are still very much active. The work is far from over. It's not a linear path. There are steps forward and steps back. The fight against Islamophobia isn't just for Muslims. It's a fight for everyone who believes in a just, inclusive, and compassionate society. It is about standing up for our neighbors and defending the principle that no one should be judged or feared because of their faith. We all have a role to play, whether it's by educating ourselves, speaking out against prejudice, supporting organizations doing the work, or simply offering a smile and a kind word. Change happens one conversation, one connection, one act of courage at a time. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this important topic. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the issues that shape our world. Let's keep learning and growing together. See you next time.